Welcome back, ghouls, gals, creeps, and mutants. I am the Undead Matt.
I'm Cody. Still haven't found a tagline yet.
And this is the Punk Rock Horror Podcast. And today we're here to remind you that, don't worry, even if you are 18 to 25 years old, it is highly unlikely that you will be drafted for any war anytime soon unless you voluntarily choose to join the armed services. Yeah. So, there we are.
Yay, World War III.
Yay, World War III. World War III. USA.
2020. Off to a great start.
We're already doing so great. So, yeah, welcome back to the show. We all hope you enjoyed our Monday episode. Also hope you enjoyed that interview with Angela Sylvain here from Terror 5280. Another big, huge thank you out to her for, coming in and doing the interview with us and talking about the book at Terror 5280 and just about horror in general.
Yeah, that was a good interview.
It was very good.
It was fun.
I enjoyed it.
I did too.
It was great.
Yes.
Good.
Indeed.
Good. Excellent. Anyways.
Everyone's like, so this is what their asses look like.
Yeah. Is
Darks.
It's not the handsome, suave guys with chiseled chins I was hoping for. Nope.
Two guys in a chair and a couch.
No, pure salt and vinegar chips and depression right here.
I like sour cream and onion.
Let's talk about for me.
Okay.
Salt and vinegar.
Alright.
Love it. I find that people who are more sour, like in general, do enjoy sour things.
Yeah.
So I gladly fit in that category because I still eat lemons with salt on them.
That's
serious, man. Try it out.
Do you, boo-boo?
Try it out.
No, I'm good.
It's like a nice little treat.
I'm good.
Do it.
No.
I guarantee you're going to like it too. Who's ever watching this right now. So yeah, man. So new year, new things to talk about. Speaking of new things to talk about, we got to talk about things that we love and hate.
Yeah.
So this is a segment of the show which, if you've been listening to us by now, you already know.
A lot of stuff happen in a month.
Yeah. Well, if you've been listening to the show for a while now, you know what this segment's all about. And if you're new to it, this whole segment's talking about things that we just kind of see in the world around us. We give our perspective on, our opinions on. Yeah. It doesn't matter. We're not trying to prove anything. It's just more so a way for us to vent. So these can be things that we love and hate from the past month, week, and or even today. And it's just things that, without going over the same thing I just spilled over again. Let's just jump into it. I don't know. Do you want to start the year off with yours, or do you want me to do mine?
You start yours off.
All right. So for me,
started off strong. Better be a good one.
It's gonna be a great
one. If it's like I had a good poop, I'm like, God damn it.
I mean, sometimes.
Sometimes that's the only good thing.
Yeah, I know that's gross. You're not supposed to talk about poo and whatnot, but it's our show, and I'm just gonna say there's some poos that if you take them. And, they're that right kind of, release. It feels good, man. All the pressure's gone. You're just
feels like you dropped, 20 pounds. You're just oh.
It is the closest thing I'll ever know what it's like to, and I don't mean this offensively, but giving birth to a child. Extremely constipated, where it's, turning, hurting the inside of you. And, it's just pushing its way out.
I could, feel Lauren just be going, oh my fucking God, no, it's not.
I know it's not. I'm not saying here, I'm not saying, it's going to be, the exact, thing.
No, I know.
Obviously I don't know what it's like to give birth to a child. But what I'm saying is that that's the closest that I could probably get to understanding it. I can sympathize without having to fully be in that situation.
Okay.
Sorry, whatever, man.
Yeah.
That's what I hate. Everybody telling me what I can't feel and sympathize with. That's what I fucking hate this week.
Okay. All right.
We're not supposed to say that word on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Oops.
Beeps. We're going to have to start.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And then you just follow up with...
You know what? This is untapped waters for us. Okay.
Look, man, I'll say this, the whole, YouTube landscape, man, there's videos on there that really should not be monetized and be taken down.
Yeah.
There's this, there's, these channels that are talking about, these stories actually happened, and it's, all animated of, fucked up stories. They'll do things where it's just, oh, I accidentally had sex with my cousin, and like it'll be like this girl talking about like how they hung out, and like and like, but you know, he's not actually like my blood cousin, he's married. Guys, what do you think I should have done in this situation? What would be different? Yeah, it is just really badly animated. Like, shout out to Diesel Patches. He actually did a really good job kind of like just tearing these like channels apart.
Yeah.
So he's a commenter, so check him out. He's really cool. I enjoy him. But like, yeah, like there's just like all like a lot of those types of channels. Like there's even one where it's like, oh, I playing Mario Party got me pregnant. Yeah, like it's really stupid, man. So like, yet they get monetization. So if we don't get monetized because we said fucking shit, like then whatever. And I know that's gonna have to probably be beeped out too.
Well, we'll see. See how it goes.
We'll see. We trust you, Jonah. Shout out to our new video producer.
Yeah, Jonah.
So yeah, with that being said, I'm taking forever to get to what I want to talk about with what I love and hate. So what I love is, believe it or not, the new Star Wars movie, Rise of Skywalker.
It was good. I liked it.
So
I liked it a lot.
We'll get it out of the way. There's pacing issues, whatever. They skip a lot of things, whatever, and there's editing issues. Okay, I admit that. Those are definitely like honest criticisms, and they work, and I agree with them.
A lot of backtracking.
But I don't really give a shit. The reason I'm not going to like touch on it is because it's been touched on enough, and you can find other sites that have really given that criticism a lot better than. So I'm not going to just go into that because I don't want to. Because the thing I love about it is just that I got to see another Star Wars movie. I got to see what I will arguably say is a better wrap up than Return of the Jedi to a Star Wars trilogy. And I know it's going to, like, really irk a lot of people. But I will say, like, I can say that there's Ewoks in it without spoiling anything.
Yeah.
But they're only in there for, like, less than 5 seconds.
I know. So,
like, that's kind of, like, one of the small pros I can kind of give to it without spoiling too much. Because all the reasons why I think it's better than Return of the Jedi respoil a lot of things, and I don't want to do that to anyone who hasn't seen it yet. But, I just kind of loved the movie. Like, it was fun to see all the, like, nostalgia things. Like, I knew that I was, like, getting into, like, with that. Like, I know what they're going for. It was fun just to see, like, all the action, people actually fighting with lightsabers, and, like, just that, like, mystical nature of it is just what I really enjoy about it. And what I really, really enjoyed even more was, like, my daughter, like, she ended up, like, loving it.
Yeah.
Like, she was getting excited when, like, the hero and the villain were fighting, or, like, when Rey and Kylo had their first fight in the movie. Like, she got really excited, and she was, like, wanting the good guys to win. And, when they had those, like, cliche moments of, like, oh, no, like, the good guy looks like he might lose.
Yeah.
Before, like, something comes and saves him or her. Like, she was definitely in that moment, like, and, like, that's what I really loved about it, too, because it reminded me why I love Star Wars and why I fell in love with it was because I spent those moments with my dad. Like I saw Phantom Menace with him in the theater. Yeah. And, it, like, those things meant a lot to me. Just, like, watching these movies are these creative, like, tales. Like, I don't give a shit, like, if it's not, like, groundbreaking narrative or anything really. Like, I just enjoy the mysticism of all of it. Yeah.
It was a good Star Wars movie.
Yeah, like, that's my whole thing about it, man.
It didn't need to be, like, this mind-blowing, Oscar-winning fucking thing.
Yeah, like, and that's what I really loved. I wasn't wanting some sort of, like, deep philosophical, like, type of, like, movie, because, like, to compare it, like, that complaint was used heavily against Us when it came out. Yeah. I know it's, like, a completely different genre, horror and whatnot. Yeah. But, like, the complaint about that, it was, like, is that movie was trying to be too what is it, like, deep and philosophical, or it was trying to be too preachy. Mm-hmm. And then when you have a movie that's not trying to be too preachy, it also gets, like, criticisms of not being deep enough. And as far as I'm concerned, like, just Rise of Skywalker was a fun movie. I enjoyed the shit out of it. I strongly encourage everyone to let their inner kid enjoy the movie. Like, just feel free to take it apart, but still, like, just try and watch it and enjoy it. I mean, it's a big budget movie. Yeah. And though it's weird to say, but I fucking love Star Wars.
Fair enough.
So that's just
it was good. I loved it too. Yeah. It was really good.
For the thing I hate, so honestly, man, I don't really have many things I hate going into the new year. Like, believe it or not, like, I'm kind of at a very content mindset, like, for the start of the new year. And so, I mean, there's nothing too, like, controversial or anything. I mean, I guess what I will say is kind of the thing that, like, that just bothers me every year, and it's gonna come off really preachy, but, like, it's just, like, people buying you know, breaded pets on Christmas, like, for the holidays.
Yeah.
Because, like, I know a lot of, like, older pets get taken back to the shelters to make way for a new animal.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I love animals, and I would say the better in that situation is if you're going to get a puppy, don't get rid of your otother dog.
No, of course not.
And I know it's not, like, a widespread thing, but it's still something that just, like, really... I don't know, man. It just really bothers me.
Yeah.
Because I know it happens, and it's just something I just kind of, like, get paranoid about at night a lot, like, wondering how much it happens. But I do come back to, like, feeling okay, because I do remember there's actually a lot of great rescues out there now these days that are hot tracked with taking care of these animals. A lot of them are no kill, so they know how to take care of them and get them readopted fast.
Yeah.
And so, like, that does give me, like, some solace. And so, like, that's all I would say is if you're gonna adopt an animal, go to an actual shelter, go to a rescue, and do that. So, that was a little preachy, but whatever, man. What do you love and hate?
What I love is, like, over the break, I kind of, like, I took a little bit more time, like, for myself, which was kind of nice. Just, like, I started doing a little bit more things that, like, I wanted to do. Yeah. Mostly just, like, with my downtime, which was kind of nice. Like, I got back into comics. I was able to get back into the Rick and Morty comics, so that was exciting to, like, actually sit and read.
Yeah.
And not do anything, and, like, have, like, a freak out moment about something. So that was super nice. And then, yeah, I guess it just, like, the thing I love is just, like, having some downtime. I already talked about last episode about my mom and stepdad meeting Dev's parents, and that was good. So Christmas was really good. Like, I think I just had a lot of, like, actually a lot more uplifting moments, like, this past month, which was nice. And they were all just small things and, like, a couple big ones. So that's what I loved, was finally just, like, feeling like I had a relaxing month for once. And then, thing I hate, honestly, I don't have a whole lot either, just because, like, I tried like a lot more of just, like, letting things kind of roll off the shoulder, and so, like, I don't know, don't be a dick. Traffic, I always hate traffic.
No, it's really reaching for the bottom of the barrel on that one
right now. Like I said, I don't have a whole lot of, like, complaints at the moment, which is weird. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah. Don't be a dick on the road. I hate traffic. Yeah.
Oh, shit, man. Well, I mean, it's like I said, you know, new year, so it's like, I mean, there's not... I don't know. I mean, everything... All the stupid things that are happening are already being memed about. And it's just like, what can we else say about that?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And for myself this year, like, I really try to take the whole, like, really leaving, like, some stuff, like, what you can of 2019 behind. And that's what I'm really trying to do right now. Just, like, what, you know, of course there's, like, the big stuff that you can't, like, bills don't go away, like, just because it's a new year and shit. Yeah. Like, I'm just mostly just trying to, like, relax. I guess the biggest thing I hate, I think it's fucking stupid that they, raise the smoking law, like the age to buy cigarettes and everything and tobacco products. Yeah. That's fucking stupid. Like, you can be 18 and go to war, but you can't have a fucking cigarette now? Like, it's just dumb.
Just had each iPods, didn't they?
Yeah, pretty much.
They just ruined it for themselves.
That's just dumb. There's just all kinds of, like, common sense type things that are like, in my opinion, is, like, common sense type stuff that shouldn't be happening, and they're happening. It's just fucking stupid.
So, yeah, but this whole cigarette thing is, like...
That's the most ridiculous one.
That's, like, a two-way argument, though. Like, I don't know, man. I don't
know. I think if you can join the military, you should be able to smoke and drink. Right. You know, it's your own choice. Those are your choices.
I mean, back in my day, we just did it regardless. Yeah. I mean,
so I'm not saying it's because it's not going to stop anything. Like, 18-year-olds are going to smoke. Like, if they're already, especially, like, those that are already smoking. Like, I know I heard, like, a little bit of talk, like, I guess if you were already 18 when the law got the law got passed or whatever, you're grandfathered in and you don't have to worry about it or some shit, but it's just kind of like...
Yeah.
They're not going to pay attention to that. And I know there are places that aren't going to really give a shit. They're like, no, fuck off. Like, go ahead. I don't give a shit.
Like 18 will still be good enough.
Yeah, but but it's just something that's really stupid. And that's something like I don't agree with just because, again, smoking is kind of your own, that's your own vice that you chose to end up to pick up and stuff like that. Same with drinking. Like, those are two things that you chose to start. And they're not like, you did it once, you're like, and you know how bad it is, and you can't stop. It's like, it's easier to stop once you start, and it's just one of those things that I don't know. I just think it's dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the thing I hate.
So, alrighty then.
Anyways, Baby Yoda's adorable.
Baby Yoda is adorable. Totes adorbs.
I was just thinking, like, over the past year, I know we talked about, what's one movie that horror movie we hated and loved that came out in the past decade and stuff.
Yeah.
I also wanted to kind of shine a little bit of light on the underrated movies that came out last year.
Okay.
That were overlooked. Ready or Not is one, which
Yeah.
I don't understand because, like, I thought it was fantastic. I thought there was good everything for it. Like,
some people don't know what good horror is, and that's why we're here.
Crawl, that's another one that kind of just dipped out of nowhere. I thought was fantastic.
Yeah.
No one talked about and stuff. So those are just two, in my opinion, that I think need to shine a little bit more light on. That happened last year. Go watch those movies. They're fantastic.
Yeah, the only thing I know that got, like, the biggest thing I heard about that was against Crawl was that, like, just like the heroine's really dumb. Like, she makes a lot of dumb decisions. One is one that I kind of have to agree with was like her running out reaching for the phone, and instead of finding somewhere safe to go where she could have actually gone, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like she instead decided to use the phone then and there and alert, which alerted the crocodiles or alligators around her.
I get it, but at
I
the
still have to
same
see
time, there's a lot of alligators and there's a fucking hurricane going on. I don't think
right.
Comments like quick thinking of that is going to come right away because that happens early on.
Yeah,
like it's not like it was late in the movie.
No, I know it's like an early scene. I still have to see it though.
I enjoyed it. I think you'll like it. It's a good creature feature flick. Like it really is. It was a fun creature feature flick to see that wasn't sharks.
Yeah,
So it was like, I know crocodiles and alligators are like overdone also, but like it was just nice seeing something that wasn't a shark.
Right.
So I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. Anyways, but we're not here to talk about those movies.
Yeah, I'll throw one quick shout out though because you're doing like things that were underappreciated.
Yeah.
Fourth season of Preacher came out on Hulu. I've already protested my love for this, but I'm going to keep shouting it. Like, check out Preacher. It's like 10 to 12 episodes per like season. There's only 4 seasons. You can binge them all fairly quickly on Hulu, but it's worth the ride. It's one of the best shows that AMC has done. Aside from like Into the Badlands, that like Walking Dead has kind of like ruined that stigma of and momentum for those types of shows. And truly, if you're wanting like shows that actually continually get good with its narrative and progress off each season without really repeating itself too much, like Walking Dead does, Preacher's one of those shows. Seriously, check it out. Okay. I love that entire series, and I wish they would make more, but. I mean, like, and there's a lot of, like, good power behind it, too. Like, Seth Rogen's a producer on it, and I know that's kind of, like, he's kind of in a weird spot with, like, misfires, like, Sausage Party.
Yeah.
And even that new one, what is that, it's the biggest thing about it was just, like, the 3 kids cuss a lot.
Oh, Good Boys.
Good Boys, yeah, like, that one was also a misfire for him. But like
I wasn't even interested in that movie when I saw it. I was
but he's also like had solid ones like 50-50. Is a notable one. I loved him in that one. But I don't think he produced it. But either way, I still loved him. Obviously, Pineapple Express and other things. But
a very underrated movie he just did. The one he just did was Charlize Theron.
Oh yeah, I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, I can't remember. Where he's like, he plays Seth Rogen, and then he meets presidential candidate.
Yeah.
They used to know each other. Apparently, it's actually a really good rom-com. Like, it's pretty good.
Jenna, our friend Jenna, she loved the shit out of it.
So
and I tend to trust her opinions
Yeah,
about
Jenna has
things
good
like
taste.
that.
She does have good taste in movies.
This person that no one else has seen, but
Yeah.
I promise she exists. Yeah, man, with that aside, check all those out, watch them now.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's jump into today's content. So, Monday we talked about Ted Bundy. Obviously, went deep into his history, how he was executed, everything.
Trying to throw out some fun facts.
Fun facts.
That I never knew, but apparently everyone else knew because I'm just like, oh, cool. You know what? I'm new.
I mean, I realize there's like two types of like serial killer and murder like fanatics, and one is the casual fan who just like does find like general interest in it and would actually read it if given the time. And there's ones who just like will spend time regardless, just researching and
Dissecting it all.
And so like
I'm definitely on the casual side.
Yeah, I mean it's okay. I'm somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
For me, it's hard to focus on just one at a time.
I still like finding the awe and all this, like, oh, God. No, like, oh, it's like, oh, God, Jesus, I gotta keep going. This is so bad. Terrible human being.
Same reactions I get with Juarez tequila.
Oh, never again.
Never again. I mean, shout out to anyone who knows what that brand is.
And enjoys it.
If you enjoy it, I don't know if that makes you tougher than me or just you're insane.
I mean, good.
Maybe you got bad taste.
Do you, boo-boo?
I think you have bad taste. I don't know why I'm talking shit. So
we don't kink shame here. Okay?
That is my kink. Very rough and undesirable tequila.
That's so gross. So bad. So many terrible nights.
It is really bad.
So many terrible nights.
Like,
Poor Pepe.
Poor Pepe.
Poor Pepe.
So, he had it coming.
Yeah. He did say, I want to get fucked up. Anyways. But yeah. So, talked about Ted Bundy. We had to pick out our 2 movies.
Yeah.
I was super excited to talk about my movie.
Yeah.
But what did you do? Do you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
All right.
So,
start off the new 2020 year with a Ted Bundy movie.
So I decided to start this one off with, I was originally going to do The Riverman.
Yeah.
I strongly recommend checking out The Riverman. It's basically the story of how Ted helped an investigator find the Green River Killer. Mm-hmm. So, like, I'm not positive, but I'm just going to, like, throw a shot in the dark out there that I'm pretty sure that's what really influenced Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Anyways, that's a great movie. The Riverman, like, check it out. The only place I could find it was on YouTube, free with ads, and I'm not going to recommend a movie on a platform that I don't want to watch it on, with like, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to go tell people to watch this movie, but put up with a ton of ads. I mean, if you do want to go watch it, like, and you're fine with that, it's on YouTube right now. Like I said, you can watch it free with ads, but other than that, The Riverman is a good one to pick up. But the one I decided to do my review on is The Stranger Beside Me, which came out in 2003, which I did cleverly titled The Stranger Beside Me Won't Stop Talking About Healing Crystals. Because they don't work.
Yes.
I will fight anyone. I will argue that.
Okay.
Like I understand like the whole idea of like manifesting it into the universe and whatever, and like nothing I'm going to say is going to change your opinion on it. And that's fine, but just know that it like. You don't need to understand it or accept it. Just know that it doesn't work. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
That's it. We're going to end the episode on that. On that controversial note.
Is that what Ted was into? Is he a crystal man?
Yeah.
You think that's what was going on?
He had to carry the right crystal around so it'd bring out his positive energies so he could heal from, his anxieties before he would brutally murder someone.
Jesus Christ.
So, The Stranger Beside Me came out in 2003.
I'm just imagining, like, it's okay. You can do it. You can do it. You can strangle her. Tell me, Crystal. Tell me right now which is the best way to do it.
Maybe that's why he bit the one on the bum.
Crystal's like, you know what?
Yeah.
It's telling me.
I should probably just stop before I get us in trouble.
Stop. Well,
yeah.
We're not ahead.
Yeah, well, we're ahead. So, The Stranger Beside Me. While working at a Seattle clinic for women in the 1970s, aspiring crime writer Anne Rule unwittingly becomes friends with serial killer Ted Bundy. And bravo, IMDb, you actually did it good this time. So,
good job.
Yeah,
good job.
I have to give them. I got to give them praise when they do things right, and negativity when they do things wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So, directed by Paul Shapiro, written by Matt McDuffie and Matthew Tabak. Stars Billy Campbell, Barbara Hershey, and Suki Kaiser. And if you know Barbara Hershey, she was a familiar role she was in. Was the mother of the father in the first Insidious movie.
Yeah. You, dude,
I'm like burping.
Again,
Anyways.
you can see what I have to do. That's what I get to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, with that in mind, Barbara Hershey, she played the mother in that, and Billy Campbell's actually been in a lot of notable movies as well. But we're going to jump into my review with this movie anyway. So this whole movie, like, to give the perspective of what the whole narrative is about, is kind of what the summary is, but it's mostly just Anne Rule with her relationship with Ted, finding more about what's going on. Like, she picks up on what's going on with him, his killings, and you see her go from this very, like, I kind of, like, admire him, aspect to a demonizing perspective. And it was really refreshing because it's like, the reason I love that is just because Ted, when we talked about on Monday, there was still women who were after Ted, and even finding out all the dirty details about everything.
Yeah.
They were still wanting, found him attractive and whatnot. So it's nice to see somebody in a movie portraying in that role, going from somebody who wants to who admires him to just hating him.
Yeah.
Because, it just feels good, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck that guy kind of
piece of shit
thing. Now, I know, the whole Anne Rule relationship in the book, it would suggest maybe a little differently here and there, so keep in mind I'm going strictly off the movie. So anyways, pros. It does show, Ted's charming and, persuasive nature throughout the entire movie, of how he is with his current girlfriends, how he is with Anne, how he is with even the governor in Washington at the time, because it does show that part in his life. Keep in mind, this whole movie follows all the way to his execution early on, when he was, in his adulthood, 30s killing, and so...
Yeah, so before a spree.
Yeah, right about... in the middle, beginning of a spree.
Oh, okay.
So it's because it spans all the way from I think 70, 75, 76 to 89.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So yeah, so anyways, the casting is solid all throughout. Billy Campbell does a great job as playing as Ted Bundy. I would say he even before Zac Efron took it on and did a great job with his performance.
Yeah.
I would say Billy did an even really, not a better, but just as good of a job.
Okay.
I really enjoyed watching it. He definitely fit the role of Ted very, very well.
Okay.
And so, yeah, and Barbara Hershey as well, herself, did a great job throughout the entire movie, too. It was just really solid casting all throughout. It's also pretty accurate with the real-life events of everything that does happen. Now, keep it in mind, because I did mention it goes from 73 all the way to 89. Mm-hmm. There are time lapses, and I'm going to talk about that here in a little bit. But for those times where it focuses on the major events, it does keep it very accurate, and it really does follow through. One scene that really sticks out to me is when he gets his indictment, when we talked about it on a Monday.
Yeah.
They do the exact thing that we were talking about in the movie. So
okay.
it's really accurate at bringing that all to life and reprising it all. So I enjoy that. I mean, there's going to be there's a little Hollywood-esque stuff here and there in it.
Yeah.
But it's not too bad. It doesn't really take away from it. If anything, I still think it's fairly accurate. And then I'm also going to talk about his first kill. So because this was basically a TV movie, in a very respective manner. His first kill is this girl in this garage where and this goes back to the pro of keeping accurate with how everything happened in real life. He was wearing the sling, pretending to have a broken arm, and had his VW. The only difference was that in the movie it's red and not white.
It's brown.
Or no, in The Stranger Beside Me, I mean.
No, I know, but I'm saying in real life it's brown.
Oh, I thought it was white.
No, it's
beige. Oh, my bad.
Beige tan.
Oh, okay. So in the movie, it's red.
Oh, okay.
Stupid. Yeah, it's like the smallest thing. It's really not that big of a deal. But so he takes out a metal crowbar.
Damn it!
Yeah,
capture it was.
Well, yeah. But he hits her over the head with a crowbar, kidnaps her, and it's his first victim. Mm-hmm. And the reason, and I'm not making it a pro as like a morbid way, like I'm glad they're showing them get murdered. Yeah. Like, I'm glad that they were showing like the actual like what happened.
Yeah.
To really paint the picture of like why Ted is a bad guy, because I still think Ted falls into that realm of like being an attractive serial killer to some people. And I'm not going to really sit here and talk about why they do that, but I feel in this movie, the fact that they show a lot of the horrible things he does really reminds people of he was a horrible person.
Yeah.
And so that's why I give it a pro, because, it didn't like show him like blood and, flying everywhere. It was edited fairly well, and it was a good pro. I thought it was very tasteful.
Yeah.
For killings of a serial killer. So one other pro I do love about this movie is Ted revealing his kills to Anne, with her being oblivious is like very unsettling, because this really touches on more on his, again, more of his charming and persuasive nature.
Yeah.
So like, because Anne Rule was a cop, then became an author, so she knows like how police work is, investigation, so on and so forth.
Yeah. I used to actually read Anne Rule books.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah. And the whole world goes right.
Yeah, when I was little.
Oh, that explains a lot.
Yeah. I bet it does.
So I like that, because what happens basically in the movie is Ted, goes up to her and is just like talking about like what's happening, because they're talking about Ted, and Ted knows that they're talking about him. But he knows that they don't know that, so he keeps he's just like, wow, I bet like it's really hard to find him right now. He's not leaving much clues. He's pretty smart. Like, he's building himself up.
Yeah.
And he's doing it right in front of Anne, and it's just like, and it's just so unsettling, because it's just like, if she only knew, like, and I mean, she does pick up on it eventually, but early on, you're just like, if she only knew, like, it just feels very, very very violating, Mm-hmm. And so what I like about this, though, is that, the movie does not take long to jump in. Like, even 30 minutes in, like, it shows his first killing, shows his twisted nature and everything.
Yeah.
So it does not take long to get into there. So what happens, is that she eventually picks up on it, and during a diner scene where he brings a new girl, into meeting Anne Rule, who she probably met a different girl at a fundraising event for the governor at the time in Washington.
Yeah.
Was asking why what happened to the other girl, and he blatantly did not answer the question. He just changed the subject in a very persuasive, charming manner.
Yeah.
And so she started to question him, because at this point, what happened prior to the scene was that she was speaking with the lead investigator of Ted.
Yeah.
Not knowing that it's Ted at the time. And, pointing out a lot of things that pointed to Ted. Sketches showing that it looks like Ted, VW being reported.
Yeah. And
just a lot of evidence. And so, like, Anne's like, what's the chances are it's this Ted? And then, the investigator's like, there's probably 100 Teds, over hundreds of Teds with a VW.
Yeah.
And so, but, like, she just, like, catches a whiff of it, like, so she's, like, questioning him during this, like, whole lunch, and she's like asking very specific questions that he would only know the answer to, because he's the one that does them.
Yeah.
And so, like, she was like, and what I love about this is that it touches on Anne's ability to what she calls is like psychologically like, what is it, autopsy people.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. And so, like, it was just really a really smart scene. I enjoyed it. It's not a long one, it's a quick one, but it's really cool because it just shows that Anne is smart, and catches on to this dude right away. Yeah. So, I mean, not as fast as she should have, but still.
Yeah.
What I also really like is, throughout this movie, he's doing more killings, and Anne is catching more and more on with him. The fact that he's moving to Idaho and Colorado and then Florida. And so what I enjoy about it is that once it finally
Utah.
Utah, sorry.
Idaho.
Why did I say Idaho? My bad.
I don't know. We haven't even talked about Idaho.
Because Idaho. So he's in Utah at this point, and Anne has caught on to him. And this eventually comes out where he is finally convicted.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's finally caught, and before he goes to his jury sentencing, they meet up one more time.
Mm-hmm.
Or court sentencing. I mean, they meet up one more time, and they're at another restaurant, and this waitress comes up, and just like you're Ted Bundy, like they're still trying to see if it's him, he's the prime suspect, and she's like, "Can I get your autograph?" And he's like, "Sure, you never know, it might be popular someday."
Oh my!
And then
God.
he looks to Anne and says. Anne looks at him and says, "Be even more popular if you're executed."
Oh my God!
And so and Ted got a smirk on his face where he enjoyed that idea.
Yeah.
It was kind of that scene was just so imperative to the unsettling nature of his mind is.
Yeah.
So anyways, it also does this really good job of just showing the dynamic of Anne's relationship with Ted and how it affects her life, because she starts to question if she should even keep writing about the things that she writes about, because she does mostly books about crime, influence, and so she wonders if she should even keep doing it, because it's Ted's feeding off this.
Yeah.
And so she has this thought. She's like, well, if Ted, this maniac is feeding off this, how do I know that not many others aren't going to do the same thing just for a chance to get written about them?
Yeah.
Kind of idea, And so it's just, I just really like that it shows that how just that toxic of a person he is, really kind of just reminds what she's dealing with, and just is also kind of a badass thing for her, because she doesn't give up on trying to figure out how to pin it on him, because she knows it's him. And so she's a total badass through and through for that part. And my last part I'm going to give to it is that the demonizing of Ted through Anne's perspective is just really oddly refreshing. I know I touched on this earlier, but it is just because it really shows all these girls fangirling over him he's getting sentenced and whatnot. And just even though Anne's not the only one, because they definitely show the other women in Ted's life who demonize this dude, but because Anne was so close to him and they show it in that way, it's just really refreshing that they actually show that she hates him. Not she sympathizes with him or feels bad for him, she's just I hate him, he's a terrible person.
Yeah.
It's oddly refreshing. So the only two cons I have about it is that some of the editing is a little off. The girl in the garage scene, although it kind of ends on a smooth note, the way it cuts away, on the first scene, just it's just really edited weird, but it smooths out. So it's not the worst editing when it jumps from scene to scene, but the way they connect it's not too bad. It's not the biggest issue in the world, but it's just a slight con. And also the time lapse throughout the film can make it a little hard to keep track of the narrative if you're not paying attention. Because it just will just say fucking Florida 1989.
Yeah.
And then it'll the text will quickly go away. I mean, it's not a bad thing at all, because at least they're keeping track of time. But it's just if you're not paying attention or you don't know much about Ted Bundy, then it might make it kind of hard to keep up with it. But really, they're very small cons. They're not the biggest things to really hold against them.
Yeah.
The movie is solid through and through. It is definitely one of those better hidden, you would stay at home, sick from school or work, and you would the movie would be on, and it's better than you think it is kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
And it really is in this case for The Stranger Beside Me. So you can catch Stranger Beside Me right now on Amazon for free if you have Amazon Prime. Unfortunately, that is the only place that you can get it. I haven't checked to see if it's on Tubi or anything, but I know it's on Netflix. It's not on Netflix and it's not on Hulu, so at least it's on Amazon. It's about an hour and 30 minutes. It's not too long of a movie. It goes by pretty quick. And there's only one trivia fact for it. Well, and that is that it has no trivia facts. To be honest with you, I'm not going to lie. So I'm just making that the trivia fact. The trivia of it is that it has none.
None.
So yeah, it's definitely it's a good movie. Check it out. I mean, if you're, if you want to know more about Ted, this does sum up a lot of things that he did in a very palpable way. Like, it even talks about the Kai Omega house and shows that whole scene happening, what happens there. I mean, it doesn't show him, like, biting and, like, him, bludgeoning the women, but it does good enough to just, like I said, sum it all up. So check it out today.
Cool.
So yeah.
Nice. Actually, I want to check it out.
Do it.
I'm probably going to.
Do it.
Do it.
All right. What did you do?
Oh, there's there's something that threw me off.
Uh-oh.
To check out about this movie. Where is your name? Where are you, son of a bitch? Anyways, so there he is. Oh, fucking really? Okay, well that kind of ruins a little bit of things for me then. Anyway, so so I did the movie Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil, and Vile. I have been really excited about this movie because I watched it. Like, I remember all the lead up to it, and I was super I was kind of iffy about it just because Zac Efron was picked to play Ted Bundy, and I wasn't I haven't seen a whole lot of stuff that he was in and stuff, so I was like, but then I watched some of his movies, and I outside of the normal stuff that he normally does, and he's really good. He's got some good acting chops on him.
Yeah.
So, synopsis of this movie. It's a chronicle of the crimes of Ted Bundy from the perspective of Liz, his longtime girlfriend, who refused to believe the truth about him for years. It's directed by Joe Berlinger. It was written by Elizabeth Kendall, it's based on the book The Phantom Prince, My Life with Ted Bundy, by Michelle Wery. Yeah. It stars Lily Collins, Zac Efron, Angela Sarfian, John Malkovich, and Haley Joel Osment.
And also James Hetfield.
Yep.
Yeah! Yeah! Gonna convict him! Yeah!
Metallica!
Yeah!
Yes, he is.
Give me life, give me death, give me electrocution on the chair.
Yeah! So, I really enjoyed this movie. I know, if y'all were listening to the live taping, which I hope you did, Erin said she didn't like the movie.
I know.
And I was talking about why I liked it. And she brought up a point of why she didn't like it. And she said the biggest reason was because of romanticizing it. I think that's the biggest pro for this entire movie, though.
All right.
And I'll get into why I think romanticizing his story is the biggest pro for the sole fact that it's told from Liz's perspective. It's all from her view and her entire relationship with Ted.
Yeah.
So I think that's why it's the romanticizing is so good. It's because he was romanticized to her. He was her knight in shining armor for the longest time. He was good looking. He was charismatic. He had a job.
Yeah.
He was going to be a lawyer. He had a good head on his shoulders. So she thought. We obviously know not. But anyways, he was always really good to her, and he was good to her daughter. And so that's why I agree. That's why I think the romanticization was warranted in this. Because I also disagree. I also hate when they romanticize serial killers and paint this extravagant light on them, and it was this bombastic story and stuff. And I don't like that, but I think it fit here. I can't. Big pro is Zac Efron in general in this movie. He was fantastic as Ted Bundy, in my opinion. He was, Zac Efron's a good-looking guy, so he had that going for him already.
Yeah.
And then also he always plays a charismatic character in movies, so he had the charisma down to a T already. And then just when he could do flip. The few times you see his character switch, flip from just like Ted Bundy had to be all super, bouncy social bug type thing to cold calculating. The few times you see that throughout the movie, it's really, really good. Mm-hmm. And it's really cool to see the character switching like that from someone who's normally pegged as a comedic actor or a romantic style actor.
Yeah.
And so in reality, Ted ended up admitting to Liz at some point that he wanted to kill her, but he couldn't. And I like it how they sprinkle it throughout this entire movie. There's small scenes that you're kind of like guessing, like, is he trying to kill her? Like, there's a couple times like you'll see him like hold his hand on her neck for a little too long when they're like when they're doing like their quote unquote sex scenes. There's no sex scenes, but they have a lead up to it a couple times where it shows them making out and getting all hot and heavy. And then there's another scene that you think he's doing one thing and it turns out he's doing another. Like they show at the end, it's really cool. So I like that they sprinkled in throughout that, you know, he was wanting to kill her because he admitted he wanted to, but he could never bring himself to do it because he actually did love her. A huge pro and a really big props to the actress Lily. Is showing Liz's mental break throughout the entire movie. So she meets him when he's already been kind of abducting people already, and like in real life Liz already met him then. So he was already kind of in the swing of things, and then it shows them when they first met, and then it kind of goes into a little bit of the, you know, it does the whole time jump also throughout the relationship, which is fair. I mean, you can't show like their entire relationship. It was like a couple, like 5+ years, I think. But yeah, and so they did the time jumps, but she showed a really good job of her, like, the more she was like, the more evidence coming out that Ted was this serial killer, you could see like her like slowly accepting it and the breakdown of her mental fortitude, because he was, you know, when he loved her, you know, that's how she felt. And so I think she was a great actress. She did fantastic for that. With that. And so once I found out in the trivia, because I looked over some trivia facts a little bit, as you guys saw, then I like paused. This kind of ruins. This now became a huge con for this movie to me, because I hate when Hollywood does do this instead of just like, this is where the Hollywoodization and the romanticization I will give a con. Is so Haley Joel Osment's character was never real. He was created just for the movie, and it makes me mad because he kind of has key points for Liz's character arc, and so now it kind of makes me upset that like they didn't show her progression, just her. Like, it's like now she had the help of another man that helped her out. So I don't know if that was like a real thing that happened, like, and they didn't know too much about it, so they just phoned in a secondary character or not. So that's a con that they had to add extra people in, and I understand, like, it's a movie, we don't know all the facts, blah blah blah, and whatever.
Yeah,
but still, like, this movie, Ted's actual story and from Liz's perspective itself is a movie in itself. You don't need to add shit. Like, that's already a Hollywood fucking movie right there, because it's just Ted's fucking craziness, you know?
Yeah.
So that's where it kind of like gave me a con. But yeah, for the most part, really. Oh, another con, I don't like the very beginning. I hate when they do the flashbacks. You know, because it shows her confronting Ted in prison when he's already caught and put on death row.
Yeah.
So she's going to talk to him. And it's like I think it's before he finally admits everything, and before he admits everything to the cops, admits to all the murders and stuff, the 30 killings. And so she goes and talks to him, and then it does the flashback to when they first met, and then it does everything up to that point again in the movie. I don't like when they do that, because and the reason why I think it also ruins this movie the most is because that scene. So I kind of noticed on my because I watched this twice. On my second watch through, this is why I think the romanticization was so great, is because through the whole movie it's actually kind of colorful. Like, it's a little more bright 70s, you know, actual 70s colors. Everything's bright and everyone's having fun and, like, stuff like that. And then, you know, of course, there's the court cases. But throughout the whole movie, the reason why it's romanticized, I also say, is because, like, it kind of almost makes you root for Ted at points. You kind of forget that it's a movie about a serial killer. And Ted Bundy's a terrible human being just because there's a couple things that they put in there. You're like, oh, maybe he didn't do all this, you know, and because that's what Liz thinks. And so they're making you the whole movie is trying to put you in Liz's shoes and think of how she sees Ted. So it makes you kind of doubt why is he this serial killer? Is he this actual evil person and stuff like that? But when they're in the prison talking, it's all gray, the colors dimmed, the bright, like all the bright colors that would normally be there are dimmed. Like you can see like this yellow is like darker, but it's not a dark, like actual darker shade. It's just how they did the video photography. And it's really because her world just got shattered and she's finally seeing him for the monster that he is, because it's when he admits to her about one of his killings, his first killing, and everything's all dark and dreary and nightmarish.
Yeah.
And it's because it finally shattered her world and she finally accepted it. That scene also is one of my biggest cons. It's because of the dialogue between the two. And I don't know if this actually happened, but it could have been just, Hollywoodized. But she keeps telling him, "Tell me what happened. Set me free, Ted. Set me free. Set me free, Ted. Set me free." I'm like, Oh my god, I hate when they do that so much. I don't know why those dialoguing, where they're like, "Set me free, set me free." That kind of thing where it's like, I need the emotional set free. Tell me like it's over. That kind of thing. I don't know why that's always bugged me, but it bugs me.
Maybe it's just because like it's a repetitive thing. Like
it could be.
The only thing I can relate it to is like the reason why I don't like Kiss or like Journey.
Yeah.
Or like Boston.
Yeah.
It's just like the same repeats.
Yeah.
Over and over, like, I wanna rock and roll all night.
Yeah.
It does it like 50 times.
I guess that could be it.
That's the only thing I can relate it to. I don't know. Maybe you're a monster.
It could be. I could be a monster. No, don't set her free, Ted. But no.
Make her suffer.
But yeah, so that's why I like the romanticization, and I think that it was that's why it needed to happen like that. Was because of that ending and the color shift and the tone shift and everything.
Yeah.
Other than that, I actually don't have a lot of cons. I really enjoyed this movie. I think if you're a true crime fan, you should check out this movie.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix. It was a Netflix made for Netflix movie. So if you have Netflix, it's free for you. Highly recommended. It's just really good. Zac Efron's really good, and it's a really good telling of Ted Bundy's last ditch. So when he meets Liz, and the twist, when they show that Liz was the one who dropped the phone call that gave the first hot tip. Ted, my boy, Ted. His name's Ted. He drives a Volkswagen. He seems similar, and that put him on the the list and stuff. That's really good. The whole arc and just watching Liz go from happy to just this depressed person to finally moving on with her life was really good to watch. And it's a feel-good moment. You just feel great for Liz, especially because in the beginning you're kind of hating on her because you're like, "You dumb bitch, she's a killer!" And you're like, "Oh yeah, she doesn't know that." Because nobody did that at the time. So I just think it's really good. Highly recommend. Go watch it. It's fantastic. It's good retelling of it.
Yeah.
It's cool seeing this movie believes how Ted escaped. How his escapes from the prisons in Colorado, when he lost all his weight and dug through the thing and stuff. So it's really, really good. I know one thing. I enjoyed this. It was a con for me the first time I watched it, but I actually think it was better the second time because then I realized it was from Liz's perspective. Was the deaths is you don't see Ted kill anyone. So you see him, you see him with the girls he's about to kill, when he's picking them at the bar or he meets them, with his car. You only see the sling part once, his sling trick. You only see it once at the very end. But you never see him kill. Instead, you just see him with them, and then it does a flash forward to when their bodies are found, and the news reports are all over the TV.
Yeah.
So there's the time difference between them. And when I first saw it, I was like, it was kind of disappointing because I was like a little more I kind of wish they did more. But that's my also very gross mind of don't fucking wish you could see those people die, you dumbass. That's horrible. But it's just the morbid curiosity that everyone does for movies.
Yeah.
But the second time I watched it, I thought that was great because again, it's the whole romanticization of Ted Bundy and making him kind of think he might be this great person,
right?
But he's not. He's a horrible human being, and I'm glad he's dead. So yeah, some trivia about the movie. The courtroom scenes were filmed at the U.S. Post Office in Covington, Kentucky, which was formerly the U.S. home of the U.S. District Court. Thought that was cool. And then, of course, the one that just ruined some things for me about this movie, Jerry's a fictional character. He doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It was the acting debut of Metallica frontman James Hetfield. Director Joe Berlinger had previously worked with Hetfield and his band on the documentary Metallica, Some Kind of Monster, 2004. Additionally, Metallica's song The Four Horsemen was used in a scene where Bundy, Zac Efron's teeth were photographed in his cell.
Did you know the diner scene was filmed in Newport, Kentucky, at the Pepper Pod restaurant, a local eatery that has been in business since 1956, and it's actually still owned by the same family. So, I mean, you can actually go and eat there.
Yep.
So, also, I was going to put out one last one for you.
What?
That just director Joe Berlinger has a cameo as a Colorado jailhouse reporter, which I would say, of course, he is, because we always get the psychos.
Yep. Zac Efron initially turned the offer to play Ted Bundy down, as he had concerns that casting someone of perceived good looks, quote-unquote, like has been a stigma of his whole career, could be taken as some sort of glorification of a murderer. Somewhat fittingly, the perceived good looks of Ted Bundy himself was precisely what gave his status as a killer such a high notoriety. So, yeah. Oh, just to backtrack a little bit, just a couple more things I liked about this movie. The courtroom scenes are amazing. They did the whole scene where Ted was getting indicted, and Zac Efron acted the whole thing. Also, really spot on. They also interspliced the actual news footage on, like, whenever they were showing the TVs, like stuff on the TV. Yeah. 99% of the time it was actual news footage and actual courtroom footage and stuff. Like, whenever it didn't show their faces, since of course, in the movie that was taking place right then and there. Right. And then at the very end they showed, like, the actual courtroom cases, things, like, and John Malkovich as a judge was spot on. You could he did so good as the judge. Like, you can just hear and feel his disappointment in Ted, knowing that Ted could have been this wonderful human being, and everything was just wasted on this vile person. Yeah. And then, of course, biggest trivia, the title of the movie comes directly out of the judge's speech, of his sentencing speech to Ted. So, the name of this film came from a quote. The court judge on Bundy's trial, he quoted, "The crimes are extremely wicked, shockingly evil, vile, and the product of design to inflict a high degree of pain." Yeah. Yep. So, if you've never heard that entire speech, go watch it. That's one of my favorite mic drops from a judge. Yeah. So, I'm sure it's on YouTube, or of course you could just go watch this movie, and it does the entire speech word for word. And yeah. So with that being said, we're coming to another end of the Punk Rock Horror Podcast. Another episode, well wrapped up, done. And if you want to keep up with everything we're doing, follow us and be part of everything. We know we didn't come out with listener participation this past Monday. It's New Year. We didn't have anything for Ted Bundy, so yeah, we had a lot on our plate getting everything for video. But next Monday we will have one for you, so don't even worry about that. And the only way to be involved in those listener participation corners is to like and follow us on Facebook, search us up Punk Rock Horror Podcast, or on Twitter at @officialPRHP, or on Instagram Punk Rock Horror Podcast #PRHP Podcast. Please feel free to check out our website www.punkrockhorrorpodcast.com. We have a new section on there now where we're actually doing book reviews. Thank you to our intern Amaya, who is taking that on. She is the one reading these books and reviewing them. We have little snippets of some of the books that are available on there, so you can check them out yourselves. They're all indie authors. You can check them out now. I know we have the first one up is Touch of Happiness. Please check it out. With that being said, thank you as well to Big Boot Studio for making our intro for the new year. We weren't able to give him a thanks during the last episode just because we ran out of time, so I want to make sure he gets a thanks. Thank you, Big Boot Studio. He's on Instagram. Check him out. Totally awesome dude. And just a kind guy all around. Also, thank you to our artist, Megan,
for making more art for us, coming back on the team. We're excited for her to come out with her next creation. You guys are going to love it. And also, big, huge shout out to Aethers Oath LLC. They we're partnering up with them, making some like limited clothing with them. Our new shirt is available through them on their website and also
Super
through our
dope
bigger
shirt.
top. Yeah,
Super dope.
it's a limited run, so make sure you get your shirt today. Check it out. That link's also in the episode notes in the description below. And if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and comment. It's the first time I ever said that for the show, and I got to get used to saying that.
Yeah, we do.
Leave us a comment how we're doing. What are you liking about the show? What would you like to see more of? We definitely respond. We will be in the comments below. Do you have any opinions about what we love and hate? Let us know in the comments below. We'll see you there. Thank you again, ghouls, gals, creeps, and mutants, and we will talk to you next time.
Peace out.